Yeah. Yeah. Die line with the boom pow. Every week now I switch to a new style. 212s in the back just blew out. Everything I do end up in the news now. Yeah. Lead a club with a few now. Just some Hollywood and they do. I'm in the mood now. 2 a.m. What you wanna do now? What you wanna do now? Little baby pass. Don't spill on me. That's Margella. Got this Oakland game to tell her. She look familiar. At Coachella, what's her name? Isabella, forget it, yeah. It's like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Tryna function, got some places we could go. Lot y'all got me speaking slow like, I'm blessed. I don't GA, you tryna, yes on yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't got, say less. Yeah. Say less. Hey girl, what it do? If you got friends, cool, bring a few through. No fun if the homies, man, R.I.P. Nate Dogg, this too true. And you know what I'm down for. Round 2, round 3, and a round 4. Mood switch when she knocked at the front door. Next up was the uproar. Yeah, was like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Tryna tuck off, got some places we could go. Swear she got the like wow, she's blessed, I'm blessed. I don't GA, you tryna yes on yes. Say less.
Hello everybody, I'm Larry Ridley and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Some serious pride on the line in this contest as these two divisional rivals take the field together for the first time this season. Almost a playoff atmosphere surrounding the game between these two bitter opponents. It's the Vikings going up against the Lions. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, first opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Shoves him aside. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford is a big-arm guy who's learned how to temper some of his throws. Actually has added a lot more touch and accuracy as his career has gone along. Big-time confidence in his arm, though. Any throw you want, he can make it.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And now the offense for Detroit.
One way I really judge a player's value is when opponents know what your strengths are, yet they still can't take that away. That tells me you're a heck of a player. For Theo Riddick, everyone knows about his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, yet he's still the primary target for Matthew Stafford on just about any passing situation.
On second down, here's Stafford. Ebron with it over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They go play action here on 1st down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Ziggy Ansah in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And it's 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A very solid gain of 27. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got Moncrief. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive. And they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them. And now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Completes it to Moncrief, left side. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on third down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Again, it's Wentz. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
To throw on second down is Stafford. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
Encroachment defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Stafford on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the gun, here's Stafford. He finds Riddick, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. Out of the gun, Stafford. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Daniil Hunter with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they're going to get this one all the way up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And Cook has it, left side. And some room to maneuver. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a 2nd drive, no 1st down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They go back to Reddick. And he spins away. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Reddick with a carry. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Here's Riddick. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. The catch is made by Kendall Wright. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Now we'll get our first update of the afternoon for the Meadowlands. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson Wentz. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty...
Wentz now on 1st down. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Oh, thank you. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Now Wentz throwing the out route incomplete. That's Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Smith catches left side. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Deep ball for Goodwin. A swing pass caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. So they're on the 5-yard line here, 2nd down and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. That was signaling a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. The offense on 3rd down, they've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. Now, you folks don't know what you're missing. You're missing Larry Ridley. Ready to get back, though, to this Week 2 matchup. Let's get to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Again, it's Cook. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Throwing now is Wentz, eluding the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. The Vikings on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10. Now a play fake. Wentz. Goodwin able to haul it in. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
2nd down now after the incompletion. On play action, it's Wentz. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Offense looks to punch it in here from the 1 on 2nd and goal. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal now, so some urgent. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
On the ground, it's Riddick. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now Riddick. And he's got it across midfield and down to about the 47-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over at their own 20-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the third quarter. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. Marquise Goodwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And Roberts with it over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now it's Stafford. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
This complete to Jones. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And he gets it down to the 32. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Again, it's Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. On first down, Stafford here. Incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And that'll bring up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Stafford. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Throwing is Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the offense lining up 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. This is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Eric Ebron, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Are you... You're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Malik Jackson able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. Working from the gun, Wentz. Flushed out right. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Checking in on Houston. It's in the fourth quarter there. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This to make it a 3-score game late. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the fourth.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And Detroit getting set to go now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Here's Stafford now on second down. And right with it here over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's third down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Third and long. It's Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team he's going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Powerful running. Checking in on Houston. It's in the 4th quarter there. And give that one to the Texans as they wind up winners there. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd of the year. And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play. One last throw here for Stanford. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Vikings, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Ford Field.